Hello, good morning, everyone. Fucking mouse is having some issues with my mouse this morning. Mm-hmm. Kind of really hard to say this morning. What makes this hard is whenever you got all these consolidation areas in this. What's up, guys? Just give me a minute. Just still trying to get the rest of my stuff set up here. How you doing today, Alan? Those are the 50% of the hourly charts. So each one of these boxes represents a hour. So this way I don't have to kind of go back and forth and look at higher time frame. So this larger box is your previous 4-hour candle, and these are your hourly candles kind of printing out now. So it kind of gives you an idea what the higher time frame's doing. And see, I take my trades on the 5-minute chart. So this way I'm able to still see what's going on in a higher time frame without flipping back and forth, having extra charts. So what these blue lines are is 50% of the previous hour. Because what it is, I take the opening trade almost every day. So I'm trying to get an idea about which way I think we're going to go this morning. It's really in a tricky area because you have a consolidation right here and consolidation right here. Let's see. Let me find my one charts. I think we're going to be, if we stay below this one level, we should stay short here. Yeah, below 68. Because we've been kind of in a down salt, kind of selling off last night. So I don't know. Like I said, it seemed like some of these mornings are very tricky. We already ran the AM low from Friday down at 982. It's called the opening range indicator. I have it in my Discord free for anybody that wants it. All you do is just go over to the Discord, go to indicators. I got to make sure I keep a track of time here. I'm trying to remember. It's up through here somewhere. It should say open range indicator. Up, I passed it. Oh, there it is. So if you're strolling over there in Discord, I can put a link. Just look for 614 42024, and it should be right above that. So you see that one, and it's this one right here. It's called opening range box in indicator. Let's see. There you go. There's plenty of other stuff in there too if you just want to look for other indicators for. Dude, I don't know if I need to go get a new battery for my mouse or what, man. This thing, do not need this thing freezing up on me this morning. What's up, Clarity? Hoping we can bang out this opening range play and take it easy the rest of the day. Let's see. Where's it at? Go. I'm not sure if Methodical Man said he's streaming today. Or this morning, at least. I thought he said he had to go to orthodontist appointment or something with the kids, I think. I feel like that's what he said yesterday. Yeah, I didn't see him on there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he said he had to take the kids, one of the kids to the orthodontist this morning. Get my stuff set up here. Make sure I'm on the right account. So this account that we're trading first is going to be the only trade we take on this account. So this account, since it's so close to payout, we're going to stick strictly to just one trade only with this account. This is the one that's sitting at 53,125 at the moment. So this is the one that we've been mainly trading the opening with. Make sure I'm on that account. Don't want to make mistakes. Like it seemed like I had multiple of those mistakes last week. All right. Good morning, Fish. How are you doing? There's 50% of this candle. So this is why I was kind of eerie about the shorts. The only thing that sucks about going to the upside is the fact that the longs is going right into the whole number. That's the only thing that kind of sucks. So I'm hoping that this is just a, oh man, what do we see? Low, 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 couldn't make a new low. So possibly maybe moving up to the upside on this one. I think you would have to get through this consolidation here, and I think you get a pop here. So this is, let's see how big our candle is. So 95 to 40. So you have a 50-point candle. So you would have to have a 25-point stop if you're playing the 50% of the range. A lot of times, if I'm not sure which way we're going to break, we will wait for it. Some days you might not get that trade, though. That's the only issue about doing that. So let's just say we wait for the break and retest. So we'll just see what it does. I mean, right now it kind of points that we're moving to the upside. I mean, we're making lower highs. So we got a low, another low, another high, another low. Didn't break this previous low. So you would think that we would want to run our way up here to the 220s, 200s. But like I said, I think what makes this so difficult is whenever we get this consolidation just stacked on top of each other like this, I just don't know if we'll get trapped in between this. So like you could hit this, bounce back, then go. And so it makes the opening setup a little bit more on the difficult side when it's set up like that. But all we can do is just kind of be patient. No, I have to make gamer. I have to make about $475 more before I can request $1,000 from Bulanox. You have to get the 3,600. So you get a buffer of 2,600, and that $1,000 you get up to, you take the $1,000 out, then it pushes you back down to the buffer, and then you try to get back to the $3,600 to request another payout. Every prop firm does it a little bit different. Now, if I was trading with Apex, you could request $1,000, but I'm using Bulanox. I'm getting ready to start trading Luke. What? Lucas? How do you say that? I don't went blank on their name. Give me a minute. Luciv. That's it. Luciv. I'm getting ready to start trading Luciv with silver. Oh. Well, how much time we got? 2 minutes left, guys. 2 minutes. All right. That was the... See, 20... Well, I'm kind of liking to the downside. Let's see. Got 30 seconds left. I don't know. We're going to wait on this one. Like I said, this one's difficult because of the consolidation that we're trapped in. Thank you, gamer. All right, 10 seconds left. All right. All right. So, see, I wasn't sure about this. This is the only part that worried me here. Now, if you get below that, you should get a nice push. You don't have support all the way till 960s. All right. There's the 60s. This was a tough entry. So now what we're going to have to do is kind of wait out this 5-minute candle. There's the 960s. Don't know if this is going to be a fake out. Just being patient. To be on the safe side, you almost have to wait on the there's the 50% pullback. You still got about 2 minutes left on this candle. Plus, we just ran that hourly candle. Two minutes left on this candle, or a minute and a half. This is why sometimes if you can't catch that first 5-minute candle, you kind of have to wait. We've got 1 minute left. All right, might get a long setup here. Depending on what happened with this next 5-minute candle. That's the 50% of the 15 minutes there. So that was the retest of the 15 minutes. $15 seconds. This is what I mean by tough whenever you got all this consolidation stuck. It makes it so much tougher. 'Pretty nasty opening range so far, guys. Hit the 80. So this candle did not break this candle, so I wouldn't look at longs. This candle has to break this candle before you consider longs. It's got to break back above that 75. Hit. All right, there's a 75. All right. Just be careful. We did break above the previous high, so you kind of need to wait for some cleaner 5-minute candles. All right, top of the 15 minutes here. Still got a minute and a half left on this candle. So that would have been not quite your 100 back to 75. So yeah, this is turning into dirty chop, guys. Dirty chop. We're just waiting for some cleaner candles. So we got 50 seconds left on this. You almost need to see this whole candle print with the next candle just barely pushing down. Then maybe we can get a better looking move. There's the previous day close at 7. We got 40 seconds left. That would probably be your 10. Back to 90. So it should be. Next candle should pop here. All right, next candle should pop. I'm going to go to break even and I'll re-enter if it stops me out. All right, first target hit. That's all that matters. Remember, we could push back down to the... You got to be careful here because it could go back and retest the 800s here. So just be careful. If it does, we'll re-enter with 1 micro. Oh. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Trying to be patient and wait, see if this thing can run this previous hourly candle. If not, it is what it is. Ah, my runner got hit. Give me the 50. This will be the last try on this. If we don't get it, oh well. Struggling. Oh well. All right, I'm not going to try a third time. It's just on a struggle bus. So we're just going to take our $80 on the funded for this one account. So that'll put us at 53,200. We gave it a whirl. We gave it 2 times to get up there. All right, we'll switch accounts and just find a different account to trade. I still like these highs up here at 60s. It's probably going to blast off any second. We're about to have a new candle. So what we can do is wait till this next candle to enter. So what we can do, if this next candle prints and cannot break these lows, we will take another long. Still looking very... Damn it. We might have missed that one. Might have to wait for it to hit the 75 and kind of pull back here. You should be able to target the 220s up there. All right, there's the pullback. Watch out for the possible pullback down to the whole number. See if I can get 10 points. All right, got my 10. We're switching tactics over to 10-minute candles, guys. You're still holding your long from that 25.89? Oh, nice. All right, there comes the 75. Look for the 75 pullback here. Oh, my God. Look at that 75 pullback. Woo! All the way to the 25 instant, guys. Holy goodness. Come on, give it back up there again. I hate that it must be some major resistance here. Our stop loss will be at 50 on this one. I was trying to get long at the 50 level, but it happened so quickly I couldn't get in. Whew. Now look for a rejection up at the 90, guys. Remember, 90 always rejects. Come on. Hopefully the 75 will hold right here. Come on, 75. No, come on. Damn it. It's so close. It looks like it's so close. It's so close. There's that 90 reversal, guys. That's why I said don't ever long into the 90. Make sure you got at least 10 points before you go into that 90 and that 100 level. So if this comes back and stops us out, we will re-enter. Just trying to stay below that 75. You got, I think 220 is the run target up here. If you, damn it. I got stopped out here. All right. So another 90 hit. So you would think if we hit the 90 this time, we should go through. That's about the third time we've hit it. So if 59, I want to see like this 50 area kind of hold, or even the 40 level, then we might be able to jump back in if it runs back up here. Kind of gets back above the 75 level. Woo. Dirty. All right, so far we're up 86 and 80 on 2 funded accounts. All the way back to the 25. This thing could go all the way back to the 75 right here, guys. Oh yeah, sometimes you just got to do that. That's why I'm taking less profit to myself. You know, I'm not hitting the levels I want to hit, but I don't want to give up all of it. We could have this gap fill in. So this could be a nice bounce off this 96, 90 area. We're back to that opening range 15-minute candle at 8 o'clock. And it could even pull back to the 50% mark. If that thing pulls back to the 50% mark and comes back out here, we are long all the way. See, what was that level we just hit down there? 807 or 107? Sorry if I missed some of your messages, guys. I've been, some of these entries are just so fast that it's so hard for me to focus on the chat at the moment. So sorry about that if I missed your message in the chat. You got to be so fast when you're trading the opening. You got to like just, It should slow down here in the next 10 minutes where it's a little bit easier. But it's just that early morning stuff that can be kind of tough. All right, guys. Here comes that top of that range. Like I said, if this thing hits here, the 50% of this 15-minute candle and pops, we're going long all the way. This is usually a nice little trade here. Now, the where it gets difficult to enter, if it just hits it and bounce back up really tough. That usually makes it a little bit more tougher for the entries. You kind of want to see it pull back into this box here and hold for longs. That was your 100 bounce there. So you might not even get the pushback. It may just bounce off that whole number. We'll just have to wait. What's up, Jake? How are you doing? But I would prefer to fill in this 5-minute fair value gap, then bounce. $40 seconds left. There's that 15-minute bounce. This is where you want to see it bounce and start moving back to the top side. Didn't get down in there, but that was a crazy delay, guys. My stuff was lagged out on that entry. May get stopped out on this runner. All right, runner got stopped out. That thing hit so quick that I barely had time. Like I said, that was such a late entry. I'm still long bias here as long as we get back above 25. Yes. Hmm. Just trying to get a quick 50 touch. I hate that I got in this so late. There was a weird delay on my, I don't know if it's because I have multiple prop firms attached to my Ninja. I'm thinking that's probably what the problem is. That does happen to me sometimes. And I'm scared to hit it twice. $30 is kind of the line in the sand. If we lose 30, it's going back down. Yep, there's the 30 level. All right. Now we just have to sit here and be patient because we're just chopping horribly. So we are cycling through our fundeds is what we're doing. So that one was a winner plus loser. So we won the first one, lost the pullback. I'm going to wait till we break back above the 50 level here. Because I took that trade into that last one into the 50 and we got stuck. What's up, Solo? We're also about to get a new 1 hour candle. So hopefully you'll get it. Yeah, we didn't get as much money as we would have liked on our account this morning, but it happens some mornings. We'll just keep what we got and move on to the next account. Right now, we're just kind of consolidating sideways, guys. Not really a lot to do here. I'm still wondering if we run the 220s up here because that's the top of that 4 hour candle. So that's kind of why I was shooting for longs this morning, trying to get that 4 hour candle. Right now, we don't really have much separation between our EMAs, so they're all kind of flat. So I think until we either break above the 50, we're going to be just kind of chopping back and forth. So need a break above that 50 level. As you can see, we're still struggling to push above that 50. Hopefully we need to break the 50 and get some kind of pullback. I don't have elusive connected right now, SK. The only connections I have right now is my Apex and Bulinox is connected. Yeah, that last trade, it misfilled me by like 15 to 20 points. Like it was a horrible fill. And I was scared to hit it twice because sometimes when you do that, you'll go in with double the size because I've done that in the past. Maybe this is our... Right now, we're just kind of stuck on the whatchamacallit at the 50 still. Yeah, that 50s is still kind of a wall right now. Maybe. Let's see. Man, we're still just chopping between the whole number and this 50. Kind of had to break above that 50 level. So far, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth hit on that 50 level. So just kind of like I said, just be patient, wait for the 50 level to break. There's the 50 break finally. All right. Nice little pop there. See if we get another pop right here since we already hit the 80. All right, it's looking very bullish. We finally broke above that 50 level. You almost kind of have to let's get through these whole numbers of the 90 to 100s. Then maybe we can look for another long. I feel like that 21 is definitely the target here. There's your 200 hit. So anticipate a pullback to the 75 or 50. Woo. All right, comes that previous day high. As long as we stay bullish and kind of find some resistance off the whole numbers, we're definitely going to be looking for another long here. We're just trying to wait. I got to wait for some kind of like little pullback here. Because we're about to run that previously. We just ran that 4-hour candle here. So definitely then our next 4-hour candle is sitting up here at 240. That was pretty tough getting through those 50s. I'm waiting for a pullback here. If we can pull back and maybe retest the 75, kind of retest the top of this 4-hour candle, or then look for a long, because this is the close of your 4-hour candle here, sitting at 90. Got a minute left on this 5-minute candle. Oh. There's the 90. So that's my. Don't really want to lose that 90 level. Got 20 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. Just want to see that 90 level hold. If the 90 level holds, we should finish pushing up to like the 20s and 40s here. Ooh. It's very tough pushing up here. Not looking very convincing on the push up. There's another retest of that 90. I don't know if you can see that or not. That 90 can hold. Not a lot of volume here, so it's very tough to enter off these candles whenever they're just barely moving. I mean, the 90 is holding. I like the longs as long as 90 holds, but you just don't have that very like bullish reaction where it's like super fast reaction coming in where you can jump in, grab 10 points real quick. No trade at the moment, guys. Just kind of waiting. So long or short, guys, here, definitely that 90 should be your kind of line in the sand at the moment. There's 75. Maybe this is what we'll need to get back above to the 220s here. Come on. Push. That was the first 20 hit, non-EMA hit too. They're okay. I'm green on 2 and red on 1 at the moment. I mean, I want to take a long, but I don't want to get trapped in a long. See there? That would have got me trapped too if I'd have took that. Maybe. May get trapped on this one too, guys. I'm frozen. What the hell? I'm gonna break even. My shit was frozen. I couldn't move my mouse. What the heck? I don't know if it's my mouse. I don't know. I couldn't move my stuff. Oh, damn you, 15. Damn it. Oh, that should have been my 10 points, guys. That should have been my 10 points. Oh, shoot. Now I'm going to have to freaking wait again. All right, so what we can do is wait for the 25 to get hit and see if we get a pullback to the whole number here. Just ran that previous 4-hour candle, so we got another support and resistance level. So we can look for the 50 to get ran and kind of have a pullback back into like the teens or even the 25 to look for another long. That sucks. That should have got me back in the green on that trade there. Kind of bouncing off that previous day high there. So that could be, we could use that previous day high as kind of a support level here. Might have gotten in a little too early on this one. The line in the sand is definitely 20. I mean, below 20, we'll go back short bias because a lot of times if you break above the previous day high and you break back down, you'll get a big sell off going down. So it looks like it's trying to push that previous day high here. Yeah, son of a bee. Switch accounts. I swear every time we enter, it's always consolidation. We could easily get another push down all the way back down to the 25,200s here. So especially if you lose that level 21 there. I guess it's not marked out on here. I don't know why. I thought I had those levels marked out on this map, but I didn't. I don't. I know what it is. My charts are switched around. Usually I'm trading off of these charts. Yeah. All right. There's the that was the 10-point push we were looking for a while ago. Mm. All right, here comes your 50 level. So maybe we'll get the 50 level with a pullback. Then maybe we can look for another entry off the 25 here. The next resistance level is going to be right here at the 40 something where you see this hitting. That's the top of the previous 4-hour candle. All right, there's your 50 hit. So now let's see if we can get that retracement back down to the 25s and see if maybe we can get like a nice bounce out of that 25 area. Even the 10-point trades are just kind of taking a little bit to work their way out. All right, here's the possible 25 hit. Ooh. Wait, why did that on 20? Ooh. That's scary. All right, here's our 25 pullback. And also at that previous day high. Remember, guys, we lose that previous day open, it could be all the way back downtown. And that's that 21 level. All right, there's your 21. So, like I said, we lose that 21. We could get kind of a little dump fest here. The next level of resistance that you need to hold up is that 90 level. If the 90 can't hold up, we're going down. But if 90 holds, we should get another push to the top side. So you want to see it kind of just wick right below the 90s, and that kind of gives you confirmation that it was going to hold. All right, we're kind of in a line in the sand right here. Back above the previous day high, we should get a push. But if we stay below that level and lose the 90s, we're probably going to get this big pullback here. If I was in an eval, I probably would have shorted the previous day high. Because I know a lot of times when we lose that level, we don't come back. We'll sell down 60 or 70 points. All right, here's your 90 level. So, it's probably downtown now, guys. Oh, goodness. Come on. Is it going to hold up? 74. We're about to break that swing too. So that means if we lose this 75, we're probably going back down to the 21 EMA at 40 and clearing this gap here also. And we could be running 50% of this previously hourly candle all the way down at 25,080s. Also, current midday sitting at 52. So, there's that. Wow. You would think we want to get down to the 50s here. This thing pushed back up far. Probably pushing back up here. Man. All right, so we're getting back. Man, I just feel like this thing's so trappy right now. It makes it so hard to just jump into this. I mean, I do like the longs back above the previous day high at 21, but this market's just so manipulated right now. It's just, where could we get the 65 to what, 360s? How's everybody else's trading morning going so far? Is everybody at least somewhat green, a little red, or break even? Ooh. Nice trade off that 75 fish lips if you took the 75 trade. Yeah, I keep missing the entries. It's just, I just wasn't sure. I mean, I know a lot of times when we lose the previous day high, a lot of times we'll have like a nice sell off. So we had what, almost 66 was the sell from, so was that 30, 34 plus 20. So about a 50-point sell off from that previous day high. Any of my entries are going to start with just looking for 10 points, guys, because it's just, we're kind of just grinding at the moment. So we don't really have that acceleration that you kind of like to see. So almost every trade is just like a battle, it seems like. Yeah, that 75 was an insane rip on that last one. For anybody that's trading the whole numbers over here. How's silver doing today? Anybody trading silver today? I freaking swear, man. I'm having issues with my crap. Okay. There we go. Kind of want to see what silver was doing. Wow, that thing went straight up last night at the opening. All right, new 5-minute candle. Here comes that little battle of the 50s, guys. So a while ago, that was the kind of the last swing here, was at that 50 level. So we kind of need to break above the 50s and 60s. You might get a push up to the 75 here. Back's hurting this morning. I'm gonna mark out that 75 here. It could just be a nice higher, low type trading day, guys. So looking for a push up to 75 here. It should struggle to get back past these wicks. So you should almost see like a little 50 touch before we start moving back up higher. So what I have to wait for a long here is like I got to wait for it to hit the 90s. Remember how I said I don't usually take trades into the 90s? If you're going to take a long, you really got to do it in the 60s because a lot of times you'll hit that 75, that 80 to 90, and you'll get a nice reversal. So you have to be careful taking entries on the very first push. Because a lot of times it just rejects, and then you're kind of trapped in a trade. There's your first 75 hit. So now you could possibly get a pushback down to the 50 here. So it can go from 75 to 50 or even 75 to 25. So kind of have to just be patient and wait on the second push. So if this can push down, kind of hold here at the 50s, it should be okay for long. What did that get to? 58? Ooh, look at that rejection off the 75, guys. That's why I said it's always better to wait for the second push if you're going to look for a long here. So this 40, if the 40 holds, I think we're good. See if we get the 40s in the push here. If you start losing the 40s, then you're looking to go all the way back down to the 21, 25 again. There's a nice 20 bounce or 40 bounce. So see if we get that push up right here. Kind of want to be back above the 60s. Yeah, we're green and red on one today. But I was having some laggy issues whenever I had both of my accounts logged in. And that's whenever, like, I was getting some delays whenever I entered my trades. So now we just got Bulinox logged on. Looking for a 10-point trade and a runner here. Yeah. It didn't hold for us. I'm trying to stay right below the 50 level here. Because I know we could easily get that push back down to the 25. And I don't usually let my account sit through that kind of drawdown. So I'd rather just get stopped out and look for the next trade instead of sitting through a lot of drawdown. So this is just 3 micros, so it'd be like losing $60. All right, I'm going to take risk off this way because it's struggling to push higher. So this way we'll just lose $50 instead of the 60. In case it doesn't pop here. You need a pop. Once we hit that 65, you should see like a quick pop. Yeah, not looking. I swear almost every trade I got in has stopped me out, then go in the direction that I'm trading in because I don't want to risk that much money. You know, I'm trying to keep my losses very small. Really hard to stay in this trade right now. It's taking way too long. We're about to have a new 15-minute candle and new 5-minute candle, so that's not really the greatest fan of that. We're going to take it close to 65 should give us our pop. Come on, 65. All right, we're just going to go to break even. Dude, that was straight up struggle busting there. Ain't gonna lie. Remember, guys, we get another rejection off the 80s to 90s, so this thing could just pull it all the way back. So just be aware of that if you're still holding your longs. This is why I'm kind of just switched to a 10-point type thing where I'm just taking 10 points and trying to make most of my money off the runners. And this way, if you don't get anything, you just don't get anything. Man, that's a big wig. I don't see how. Man, I just feel like we're moving back down. Butter. Man, I wish I was able to take that last trade down at 75. I mean, I got a entry to take that. I just didn't take it. I just wasn't sure if we were moving back up to the highs. Now, if we lose the previous day close this time, guys, I'm going to short that level. What happened to the gold? I'm not sure. I haven't looked at gold this morning. I've been trying to find some entries on silver. Silver's just straight up right now. Yeah, all right. So there's nothing I can do right now, guys, but just kind of have to sit here and wait. So the account that we took the red day on was our Apex accounts. So I logged off those because, like I said, I was having issues with delays a while ago. I don't know if anybody else was. This was the first trade this morning. This was the second trade. The third one was a loser. And this was the one that we were just on. This trade here. So let's see. What about your English? I don't think anything happened in the silver. It's just kind of going straight up today. Well, here she goes. Like I said, it seems like almost every play. I haven't really been having my stop loss where it needs to be because we're trying not to over risk today. So we're just trying to get our 10 points and runners. So that's a lot what's going on today. We're not really making anything off our runner contracts. So what we're going to do now is just wait for this 300 level to get hit and see what kind of reaction we get. I would think that we'd at least get a pullback down into the 50s, down into the 70s to the 60s here. So if you want to stay safe with your accounts, try not to ever take a trade between the 80 and 300. Even though sometimes, most time it doesn't work, but sometimes you'll get like a little push, but you can almost anticipate a pullback here. If we don't hit the 300s, doesn't hold, you'll get a push to the 310s. Then you'll get like another pullback into the 390s to 370s. So if we get another pullback into the 70s here, we'll look for another long out of the 70s. And that's also retesting this data wick here too. Let's see. All right. There's your 100 push. You want to see the 75 hold up. All right. Well, let's see what happens here. Did we freeze up? Man, this thing's been acting weird today. Didn't quite hit that 75. It got pretty close though. How's everybody's trading going today? Did anybody have the courage to hold their long while ago off of that 50 level or that 50-40 area? We're just waiting for the pullback to kind of finish here and see what happens with this pullback. Right now, it's kind of like that same candle we had a while ago down at the 50 where I was long a while ago, around the 60s. Oh, shoot, excuse me, guys. Let's see. Did Bulonox ever give a better discount? No, they're still 80% off. Man. All right, new 5-minute candle. All right, so we're probably moving up since that candle broke above the consolidation candle. So if this candle right here cannot, if it starts pushing back down, and as long as it cannot push below this candle, it's going to stay bearish, then we can start looking for long again. But usually it'll stay inside of it because since it already broke it, we still had a wick all the way at what, 350 up there. So got 350 up to the top side. So see if I can get a quick 10 points out of this. I'm going to go to break even just because it's at that 10 level, because I know we could easily pull back to the 90 here, so I have to be aware of that. Okay, we got through it. So this candle cannot push down and overtake this candle. So most of the time when that happens, if you ever see this type of setup, I look for this setup a lot on the 5-minute chart. So if you get a kind of a bullish candle or even bearish candle, then this next candle is a small body with big wicks. This second candle, if it's the breakout candle, I just take the breakout wherever way it goes. So this is a pattern that I look for on the 5 minutes. All right, we could get some resistance here at the 25. I may even try to take my profit at 20 points or something. This way, if it pulls back, I can always re-enter with the contract. Because I think that 50s is the high up there. Because the 25 can always take us back down to the 300s here. We're targeting this wick up here. It's at the 50s. Oh, did I get my... I got my runner. Let's see. What else could we possible trade? All right. So now what we're doing is we're waiting to see if we get that pull back into the 300 level. What is that, Jake? We need some waves. Yeah. Price action is moving kind of slow. It's like the volume just kind of died off after the 10 o'clock hour this morning. All right, here comes our 300 level. So, and we're about to have a new hourly candle. So this could be our dump here. New hourly candle. What? If we lose the 300s, we could possibly get the pushback all the way back down to the 250s. So kind of waiting to see it get through this area here. All right, we're not in a trade right now. So now we're just kind of waiting to see what happens with this 350 area and see if that's going to be our high after we rerun this wick. And if we run that wick, then you'll have to kind of keep going to the left. But there's a lot sitting here at 350s. I feel like we get stuck here. You can see all this 5-minute resistance here. So this may be their high of the morning, and then just start looking for some kind of retracement somewhere between the 350 and 400s this morning. You've been surfing the Bitcoin wave. Did Bitcoin start going back up this morning, Jake? Yeah, it's going back up. It's at 69,000. Well, hopefully somebody gets some of their money back after that insane loss that they got hammered on. There's a lot of people that lost a lot of money last month. I'm not going to lie. Between Bitcoin, silver, gold, man, those things crashed hard. So everybody probably got called on their on their leverage. So, ooh, excuse me. All right, so we got a new 15-minute candle, new hourly candle. So now we're just kind of just waiting for to see what happens here. For longs, you almost need to get back above like the 60 levels here and find support. But I just feel like we're due for a pullback here. So does that work the same way on Bitcoin where people bet against it and get paid on the short, on the sell-off like that? I don't really do a lot with the Bitcoins. I wasn't sure. I mean, I would think that is. I mean, I guess that's the same thing. They have options for Bitcoins. Oh, excuse me. I know one thing. We sure did leave a lot on the table this morning since we were long from basically here. And I didn't play this great either. The 15-minute retest. Look, 15-minute retest paid nicely today. Look at the 15-minute retest. Mm-mm-mm. I'm 48, Falcon. So far, the greens are fairly small today on the Bewleys, and we're red in the Apex accounts. I had to log off my Apex. I'm not sure if something was going on with the connection between Tradeovate and Ninja, but my charts kept freezing up this morning. So, but whenever my Apex accounts are not connected, I'm not having issues. So I don't know if there's like a connection issue going on between Tradeovate and Ninja. So right now we just don't have Tradeovate connected because I think I had multiple freezes when I was trying to trade those earlier. It was lagging for you too. Yeah, like I tried to enter a trade earlier, Jake, and it filled me 15 points above where I was trying to enter. Like I hit it and it took like a few seconds for it to even popped on. So and I didn't want to hit it twice because anybody knows that if you hit it twice, when it does finally catch up, you're going to be in double the amount. And so you get double screwed if the trade goes against you. So anytime your charts, like you hit the buy button and if it don't pop up, just wait a second because it's probably going to pop up. But if you hit it twice, it's just going to be like double the contracts, double the possibility of a bigger loss. Jake, did you ever watch any of those videos on how to put Riptych on Ninja? Look in the order box, make sure they're canceled. Pretty much lost most of our volume, guys. There's not really anything for us to do right here but sit here and just kind of wait. Most of the time, whenever you enter in this type of price action, you're going to be sitting through drawdown, a lot of back and forth. So it makes this price action tough. I'm anticipating a bigger pullback, but I don't want to make myself get short bias and we just keep grinding higher and higher. It could just be one of those days where you don't really get pullbacks and the candles look like this and they just keep going higher and higher and higher. And it's makes it tougher to enter. Maybe this is finally the pullback. I guess I can trade my eval. Let's see. We still need to make $150 on our eval to pass it. Well, at least if you're going to use Bulinox, you don't have to pay a lot of money up front like you were spending with the Tradeify accounts. With Bulinox, you can get most of their accounts between like 15 and 20 bucks, Jake. To start out and practice. I mean, it looks like we're kind of rolling over. I can tell you how much one costs right now. Let's see. I think if you wait a little bit, Bulinox usually goes back up to 90%. Right now the 50Ks are 36 and the 25 are 30. Ooh. Man. Be careful trying to jump in the long here, guys. Like usually I like taking longs between the 25 and 50, but this price action is super not laggy, but super choppy trying to move up into all that consolidation. So it seemed like I swear almost every entry today has been that way for me. And unfortunately, I'd get stopped out because I don't want to risk a whole bunch. Then it ends up going the direction that we're looking for because I'm not having my stop loss where it needs to be. So I've already had 1.9 pullback. So kind of looking for the 50 pullback on my charts where we can get that pullback to like what 250, 260. Is there anybody in a position right now? Man, I want to see like a big rollover pullback here. Is anybody looking for any kind of longer short right now? I mean, I think Fish Lips probably what looking for short at the 50s. To me, this is way oversold. I feel like we need a pullback here. So I'm kind of waiting to see what happens if we pop these 50s, and maybe that's the pullback here. And like I said, there's a lot of support between 50 all the way up to 80. So be careful if you're taking longs into those areas. Yeah, we got to have a pullback, man. There's just not really a lot to do here but sit here and just kind of watch and just wait. What is so far? We just kind of moving in like a little 20-point range, guys. I mean, the movement is so slow right now. We're definitely going to be start taking silver trades at the opening every day, and that'll be like 6 o'clock. I don't know if I'll be doing them live on stream, but I'm gonna start taking them every day. But today I'm gonna be taking it on a sim account again. But in the next day or two, we're gonna get a Lucif account. We're gonna start trading silver with Lucif. Dude, silver just to the moon right now, guys. Holy goodness. Silver's pretty much been straight up since 8, 9 o'clock this morning. Look at silver. Just straight to the moon. Yeah, so we're going to start trading silver at opening. Pretty much when you're trading these silver and Rico candles, pretty much wherever you print, you pretty much go in that direction probably 80% of the time. See, print down. You got to think, that's a lot of money. It don't look like a big move, but you're really only trying to catch 3 candles. See, 3 to 4 candles is like $300. And I also have noticed going back and looking at this, anytime that the very first candle was a big wick before it prints, most of the time you're going down at least 8 to 10 candles. And a wick one is, you can probably get $400 to $500. Let's see. That's a $700 run at the opening. So insane. We're going to be trading silver on Rico candles with the Lucif account starting either tomorrow or Wednesday. Probably Wednesday. I need to go back and look at different sizes Rico candles and see if we can get better entries, because those are fairly big candles. And I think that's a reason why, is because you got to make sure you're going in the right direction. And like I said, you're only looking for about 3 candles to print, and that's $240 to $300 just from 3 candles, or 3 Rico candles. So you do have to have kind of a negative RR. That's probably the only downfall about that. Whenever I've gone back and looked at that stuff, I've looked at it this weekend. I think I went back and looked at it for like months and months and months, and it seemed like it was a little weird last year in the first couple months, but throughout the rest of the year, it was just like a nonstop 3 to 5 candle print, and you're only looking for 3 candles. So that's this account here. We started it last week. So we were up $780 from last week. So, and we'll just see what happens today. And that's on a sim account, though, like a paper sim account. Because we're still just kind of practicing and messing with it. How are you doing today, Ninja? Are you having a good day of trading? We're 3 for 4 on our accounts. We're green on 3 Beulah Knox accounts, red on our Apex account. So that's kind of where we're at today. I'll look for another trade. I'm looking for a eval trade right now. We're about $150 away from passing another eval. Yeah, I know. You can be sitting here till lunchtime waiting on that pullback, Jake. This would be horrible, horrible price action to enter whenever it's just kind of chopping back and forth like this, because you're just stuck there. I mean, if you're good at scalping ranges, this would be probably your type of trading. But for myself, it'll just be torture if we try to jump in this. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, hopefully no one's trapped in a trade right now because, like I said, just horrible price action to be stuck in. I'm kind of looking for that lunchtime reversal is what I'm waiting on. Hopefully the opening range goes well the rest of the week, and we should be able to get our account almost a payout, guys. We are like $400 away. So right now we're sitting at 53,200, so about $400 away. I wish we would have got a little bit more on this trade, but all we got was those first 2 contract 20 points, and our runner didn't get us anything this morning. So that was the main funded account that we're trading this morning. The other funded, we only got 86. The other one, we were down about 160. And the other funded account, we're up 114. And right now, we're just kind of waiting to see if we get some kind of pullback where we can look for a valuation trade. Yeah, this price action is super crap right now, Jake. I mean, I'm going to stay away from it. I'm not any good at trading whenever it's like this. A lot of times I'll find myself and get myself in trouble. So either that or I'll give away all my profit. So even though I don't have very much in profit on my fundeds, I'd rather just keep what little I got and move on to tomorrow. And this could just be a sideways consolidation for us to pop. So now you're just kind of waiting to see what side of the box we pop out on. I'm still thinking down just because if you look to the left, we have so much consolidation back over here, guys. Look at all this consolidation. I just don't see how we get through this anytime soon. I just don't see how we get through this. It would just be like just constant chop, chop, chop just to get through this crap. So either that or we rerun the bottom of this 4-hour candle. This is a 4-hour candle, and this is a 4-hour candle. You jumps to another charts. What do you mean by jumping to another charts, Jake? How are you doing, Haley? Haley? Yeah, Haley? I think I'm saying that correctly. If I'm not, sorry. That's why you like me, because it doesn't stay in the consolidation. Where are you trading the Bitcoin at? Are you doing that on TradingView, Jake? What size account would you have to even trade Bitcoin with that type of volatility? I mean, I'd imagine their contracts cost quite a bit. Oh, there comes the grind. It took all of 30 minutes to what? The low was 10. So we were kind of stuck in a 30-point range for what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost 30 minutes we sat here waiting for this thing to pop out of this range. Oh, what'd you say? Oh, yeah, I was wondering. I've never done Bitcoin. I don't even know if you can log onto Bitcoin on Ninja. Let me see. I don't think I can. Bitcoin. They do have nano Bitcoins. I don't know if it allows me to trade it or not. Let's see if it'll load up here. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. We do have Bitcoin Cash futures. Then CME, that might be it. Let's see. It won't even. I guess it'll let me enter on one mini contract. I want to close that. What? That was like 25 bucks. I could stick that on my one account. I bet you it would just wreck it, guys. Can I trade eval with that? Right now we're just kind of stuck here. That's still a lot of money. What is that between? It'll let me see it on futures. I'm about to see if it'll let me take a Bitcoin trade with Beulah Knox on their eval, but I'm gonna do it real quick because I don't want to get my butt face ripped off. Because I think it looked like it barely moved a while ago, and I lost 25 bucks on my sim account. No, that's a Beulah Knox account. I'm about to find out. I don't know yet. I'm trying to find like an entry to join, but I don't see nothing right now. I guess I can just try to hit the buy button. I'll just hit the buy sell button and see if Beulah Knox will let me trade it. Well, let's see. No, they won't let me. I don't have permission. Let's see if there's one for micro Bitcoin futures, which is MBT. Okay, let me trade micros. So it looks like you could probably get away with trading micros on Ninja. It's listed under MBT for micro futures. I'm not sure how much it costs. The other day I was negative $1,200 in the red on the same day of my Apex PA in 3 trades, but I didn't break the rule. How not? I constantly break the Apex rules, man. I constantly be breaking the Apex rules. Let's see here. New window. Let's take off a lot of this stuff here. This may just be a little pullback here. All right, so we can see what it looks like in regular candles. So this would be Bitcoin. Make sure I'm on the right account. What is that doing? So right now it looks like we're creating a little bull flag. So possible for it to break out here. Let's see what happens. What time frame do you trade this on, Jake? Let's see. That was $1. I'm not sure what happened. So that was just $1 for whatever many points I got. So 40 ticks. I lost $1, so got to have a lot bigger stop loss than. So we'll do 100 and see what that does. Trying to kind of get an idea how much what the cost is to trade this. Oh, made $1. That's not even barely anything. It's like, golly, I can't even. How many? What do you got to risk on this? How many points, man? If it's under ticks, do I got to do currency? Is it currency? Is it currency? Maybe it's currency. Let's try currency. All right. It's kind of pulling back right now. I'm not even sure how much these are costing per contracts. But you can trade Bitcoins on Bulanox. But you only can probably trade on the smaller accounts. You only can use the micros. I don't know how much the micros cost, though. Yeah, right now the price action on the NQ is just nuts. I mean, there's really not anything to do here, guys. At 5, so 1 is 6K. Man. We're about to have a new 5-minute candle. We'll wait for this new 5-minute candle to see what happens here. I think we'd have to go all the way up there. Just try not to really lose money or too much money if it pulls back on us. What kind of crazy stuff is that? All right, that's only $10, $7. Trying to get an idea how much it costs to be in these trades per micros. So that's 46,655. So it looks like $5 So $10 there. $15. So what is that? 55, 65, 75, 85. So every 40 points is $15. So all right. $17 off that little Bitcoin trade. So you can maybe use a few more micros. I don't know. I think I'm not sure. A while ago, I tried to enter on 3 micros and it wouldn't let me. So I think 1 or 2 may be the limit. So let's see. Yeah, let me do 3. So, oh, that's because I was on a full mini. That's what it was. So with the micros, you can trade Bitcoin with a few micros if you'd like to. I didn't know that. All right. I'm not going to continue trading Bitcoin. I was just curious. So, but I think if you're going to trade it, I stick to the lower stuff. You said my chart price is at 69 KSSA. Mini chart. Yeah, it's mini chart. Did I leave it out or did I close it? Yeah, we're probably going to be done trading, guys, because we're only a few minutes away from the lunch hour. So be careful if you're trading. Well, that is 69. Micros Bitcoins. No, it's about the same because right now micro Bitcoins is sitting at 70,095, Jake. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for me today. I'm not going to take any trades because we're moving into the 12 o'clock hour, and I don't trade during the 11 o'clock hour or 12 o'clock hour. Yeah, if you want to trade Bitcoin and you want to give if you get used to it. So apparently you can use Bulinox to trade your Bitcoin, but I think if it's on one mini, I think you only can trade one contract because a while ago, I think I had it on 3 and I tried to enter. It said I couldn't, but it allowed me to enter on 3 micros. Thank you guys for watching today. Hopefully everyone be safe the rest of the day. Price action wasn't that great. I mean, it was movement today, but it wasn't the greatest. So and we will be back tonight for the Asia market. We'll be back for Tokyo, Asia. All right. Thank you guys for watching, guys. Good luck the rest of the day.